Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. So this is Kuladula from OptionScalps, and I am sicker than a dog. So I apologize for any coughing, nasal sounds you may hear, but it is what it is. All right. So yesterday we saw virtually the high broken at the open. We were looking at virtually full shorts the entire day. Looking forward to target this candle right here at 569.44 or whatever it was. We got it a little bit more, and then we entered into some 570 calls for today, and those things are going to be paying wonderfully. So it looks as if we're going to probably sell off here. I know that sounds crazy after hearing what I just said, but it looks like we're going to sell off here. So options tell us that we're likely to find ourselves pushing up to 575 this week. It's been a target 575. It's been the ceiling for us to kind of aim at all week, and we're hitting it. And so I find us right now at that target. We're breaking an all-time high. Normally at open right now, so you can virtually go at open and start buying puts from a later date and just start stacking those and looking for those to roll down. And it'll come down. It'll at least come and touch down this all-time high. It's 572.88. It's probably the easiest setup today to make money at the bell, or within the first 15 minutes of the bell, hour of the bell, whatever it is. We're looking for puts to come back down and confirm it, or at least run on pre-market open at 573.33. Either one. Easiest money to be made. Don't have to just overcomplicate it. Just keep buying and averaging until this thing wants to roll back. Every time it makes a new high, buy an average and look for it to roll back. Okay, so let's take a look at our friends over at Gamma Edge. Provided data. This is today's expiration. So into 575 is the target here. So if we open and we see 577 surge, we might get up to 577. Okay. I in my group are swinging 570 calls. They're going to be up about 400% if we hold where we're at. So great news. I don't think we're going to get to 577, but it's definitely possible. You're going to see right here that our bottom is starting to form at 574. Excuse me. We're like locked in right here. So generally, when we see a lock in like this, it is probably going to go screaming from this. This is where people get a little bit caught up in this. So I think it's going to go screaming away from this initially, and then it'll magnet right back to it. So any move that you see away from this, so let's just say, for example, let me turn this off. Let me turn off extended hours. So I think we could go screaming for a 570 visit. But your main targets are going to be, that's not right. Should have flipped to 5 minutes on 15. Excuse me. Yeah. So your target to the downside for liquidity chasing is going to be 569.31. Remember the pre-market open is around that 573.50 area, right in that range, all the way in your all-time high confirmation level is 572.88. There's nothing virtually saying that we should continue pressing right now. Nothing. It is literally saying the wall is right here at 575, and that is it. That's all we're seeing. Now, when we open, will they stack calls? Possibly, and we'll see if what happens when we pull back a little bit. If we start to get 575 to grow, if 575 grows, it's probably going to be a wall. It's probably going to be the end of the day. That's probably going to be it. But we do see that 577 is growing, so we'll see how that works at open. Take a look at NVDA real quick. Boy, we called this one pretty well. We talked about how this was consolidating down here and it wanted to make a push into that 120 range. Boy, it got it. It got all the way up to about 125. I told you a couple days ago yesterday. I'm just trying to recover from being sick, but told you all yesterday or a couple days ago that 125 is probably the max. It's opening at 126.53. I would not be surprised if it ran back at this supply zone up here at this 130 today. I wouldn't be surprised. I do think that it'll quickly find itself rolling back down into that 130 range. So you might see a full-blown like blown top type of look. So run up reversal at some point. Now, does it recover into 130 range? Potentially. I don't see any reason why we should believe that this thing is going to continue to run past 130 just yet. Let me look at options real quick. It is starting to grow. Again, Gamma Edge from our friends over at Gamma Edge. It is starting to grow. We have a top of 127, bottom 125. That's going to be this week's expiration. If you start to throw in the mix of next week, we start to see that it's actually pulling back. The plus GEX supply here in the negative supply zone. So it starts to pull back. 130 is still pretty large right here. But the bulk of that open interest is coming from this week, 130. So we'll see if that starts to grow. You can really see that nothing really above this is forming. You start to get it maybe in deep October. Start to see 135 grow. We'll see if that changes today as we go and test that 130 zone. Yep. All right. So for NVIDIA, you're watching targets like 126.68 for a reversal and 129.19. I don't think you'll hit 130 on the bell, but you definitely need to watch for a potential push up and then a push back down. This 128.27 area is a critical level. It's played a lot of times in the past. So watch for 128.37 to give you a reaction if you're looking for a scalp. Watch for that level to play for you. Take a look at Tesla real quick. Tesla is a little surprising. I saw this morning. I said, no freaking way. It's opening up at 260. You know, we talked about this probably, I don't know. No. I think it was back in this range where it wanted to, it was probably further back. It wanted to pop into this 230 range, and we said that we could see this in that 250, 260 range, or here. It happened so quickly, as Tesla always does, right? I think that there's not a doubt in my mind that Teslaites, that's what I like calling them, Teslaites, will run this thing up as high as 270. There's not a doubt in my mind. This will run to 270. This will take this high. That'll probably happen today. Now, will it close there? I don't think so. Not a chance. I do not think so. I think this will be the most wicked blown top today. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I do think it's probably, you know, and the guys, here's the thing. I can give you targets to go at today but we're already gapping up. So really, for our strategy, you're looking for the push down, and for me here, this is probably just retest 125.17 or even low as 255. Friends over at Gamma Edge giving us the insight here, showing us that 260 grew on the calls. So 260 is the max that I see us closing this week. I do not see us closing at 270. I do think that we'll find, and we do see 265 as the top here. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think 260 is going to be where we're closing at. We'll see if that's the case. But as you can see, 270, 280 starting to grow into next week. I think it's inevitable that that TSLAites will run this thing into 300 if they can mount 270. The big if, y'all. Okay, so we talked about this in the RSI that it had way more to run in regards to its cycle, and that's where I get the 300 mark from. I think this gives us enough breathing room to run back up towards this range. You're gonna have to deal with highs like 278.98 and 299.29. All those would be potential reversal areas. So keep in mind, especially right here. I mean, we've got a gap fill right here at this wick touch. I would say that you're looking more so like that 275, 280 reversal look before you even get a chance at 299. Watch for a pullback and then maybe make a run back up at 299. But super solid here. We talked about this a while ago where I said follow that daily 20. So this was back in this range that we're at 228. I said watch for the pullback, and I said if it holds it, watch for that run up to 250, 260. So that was back in the beginning of September here. Had that mean sell-off day, but it is pushing up, and we are looking like a potential squeeze. I think today is going to find itself selling, and then we'll see if it recovers. If it does recover, I do see us probably continuing to squeeze, pushing into that 285 mark is my ceiling for the market. I don't think that we'll get to 600, but by the end of the year, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Okay, so we covered Tesla, covered SPY, the Qs. I didn't cover the Qs. Let me take a look at the Qs real quick. All these are gapping up, so levels are, what we're chasing is wrong, really. You'd be chasing to the downside 485, and your confirmation level is at 487.81. This thing is just purely just ripping up to 493 right now. Let's take a look at options real quick on this from our friends over at Gamma Edge. Let's pull this up. So, for those that are wondering, the easiest play is just to buy shorts here. You are like, oh, I want to buy calls. No, it's to buy shorts. Buy shorts. Don't buy 0 day. Buy a month out, and you just keep adding shorts as this thing goes up, and it's eventually going to come back and confirm this. Just wait for some weakness, right? You don't want to buy it on just like some god candle. Qs, guys, are y'all ready for this one? Are y'all ready? Because I wasn't. Here you are. Full blown scale into 500. Your top says 493 today. We're there. But it does have a growing open interest into this. So this is today. Tomorrow we have a huge 500 call, magnet here. So it'd be interesting if this thing gets sucked into 500. by the end or beginning of next week, 500 is starting to become our bumper, and it's growing. And I can tell you that that will grow immensely today. I think they'll probably stall this out, y'all, before they let it rip, because you know they're not gonna, dealers are not going to let everybody and their brother just make money on just buying calls on this. It's not how this works. So, but it is interesting to see Nasdaq the Qs at 500. So that will both the SPY and Qs will be at 500. Well, SPY might move into 600. So I did not see this coming. I'll be 100% honest. I did not see this coming. I thought we saw our highs in July, and I thought that we'd roll back over when we revisit, and we might see a sell off today. But I'm still feeling vindicated by taking a bunch of my money out and putting it in money markets in July. But it is what it is. Okay. All right. So listen, hey, that's going to be it for today's show. If you have troubles navigating the market, we have a Discord that you can come and check out. We have right here at wop.com or wop.com/OptionScalps. We have our free community where you can come and join our free Discord. You could also come and join us on our VIP program. You get things like our access to our special indicator. It's our private indicator. It gives us access to, or excuse me, it gives us our targets, and it's a tool that we use for our strategy. We have our daily analysis and charts. We do our monthly technical analysis trainings, which I didn't do yesterday because I'm sick. Live trading. We have our option flow data bots, market news. You get our trades. You get Gandalf's trades. There's a lot of things going on. And then I think we have a 2-day free trial here for $49.99 a month. And you could also just come and stick your toes in the water for $14.99 a week. Whatever works best for you. But that's at wop.com/OptionScalps. And we look forward to seeing you. So thanks, guys.